Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
Andrew McCart, IFLTV. I'm here with boxing legend, and I mean that, boxing legend, Teddy Atlas. How are you, sir?
Good, how are you?
I'm very, very well. It's good to be back here in Riyadh. 5v5, you've been in boxing a long, long time. Have you ever seen you haven't, but could you ever imagine a concept like this where you've got promoter against promoter, five of his best against five of their best? Man, it's amazing, isn't it?
It's been coming. You know, it's kind of like asking a question, have you ever imagined when you're sitting in the seashore that the tide could come that high? And you're sitting there for the last, say, month, and each day the tide comes higher. And then you could say, you know what? You turn to your wife, whoever's enjoying this beautiful moment, and you turn and you say, you know what? I can imagine the tide actually pretty soon getting up there. Because Turkey Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, has been bringing the tide in higher and higher. He started this a year ago, or whatever the time. Yeah, whatever, 6 months. I thought it was a year, but whatever it is, he has started bringing the tide more and more up the shore. So it didn't happen overnight. Yeah, we got this 5-on-5, and it's fabulous. It's tremendous. You know what's tremendous about it? It's tremendous for the fans. It's tremendous for you guys, and it's tremendous for the sport. It makes the sport more relative. It makes the sport more important, what it deserves to have. This sport, the greatest sport of all, been around longer than any other sport, it deserves to be relative. And it was getting less relative. Why? Because you weren't making relative fights. You weren't putting what the fans want, what the sport, again, needs, the best in with the best. And he's been doing that. He has been doing that. He has been making fights that were not makeable before. And then, so when you ask me that question, I can only give a straight on, honest answer. I could have, 6 months ago, I would have said, no, I don't really imagine that happening. But now I could imagine this day was coming because he's been working towards, the tide has been coming more and more up the shoreline. He has been working at this moment to bring the best with the best. So it culminated 2 weeks ago, or less than 2 weeks ago, with getting one unified heavyweight champ for the first time in 25 years. And now he's taking it to the next place up the shoreline, where you get 5 top names, top fighters in there with 5 other top names, top fighters. Again, not a complicated formula, but a formula that before Turkey Al-Sheikh was not being done. It was not happening, and now it's happening. And we're all better for it. We're all better for it. And the great thing about this 5 versus 5 is that anytime you can make a legitimate argument for either guy to win, and legitimate.
Up and down the card.
Yeah, legitimate argument, not just hyper BS, but because, oh no, he could win because of this. Oh yeah, I didn't think. And this guy could win because of that. Yeah, you know, anytime you can do that, you have something really good. You have the potential for really good competitive fights. Every one of these 5 fights, you can make that argument. This guy could win. Well, I could argue that. And either side, it would be legitimate. It would be an honest argument.
Teddy, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to put you on the spot. When you've looked at these 5 fights, you're a boxing man. I'm sure you've got a winner on each one. Frank Warren versus Eddie Hearn, you've known him a long time. Who have you got as a winner for this one? Do you have a winner, Frank or Eddie?
Yeah, I do. The fans. Yeah, that's a legitimate. I'm using the word legitimate, the word, good word, right? It doesn't get realized enough. Legitimate answer. The fans, the sport, they're the winner. To have these 2 top promoters, and they are. They're the 2 top promoters in the game right now. There's nobody above them. To have these 2 top promoters put these fights on in one night, in one place, yeah, we win. We all win.
Definitely. His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh has said that he is going to look for a 5v5, but a US versus UK. Being American, me being a UK fan, I mean, that's music to my ears. Do you like the sound of that?
I'll be seeing you soon, mate. You'll be in the red corner, I'll be in the blue.
I want none of that smoke, Terry. I don't want any smoke with you, to be honest with you. You touched on it a little bit 12 days ago. We had the Undisputed, the first one since, Lennox done it 25 years ago. Now the rematch has been set. It's been penciled in for the 21st of December. You know yourself, the rematch isn't always the same as the first fight. Frazier beat Ali. Ali went on to beat Frazier in the rematch. How do you break down this rematch for Tyson Fury?
Look, to break it down, you have to know what you're looking at. And you got to look at the right things. Both these guys left something in the ring. See, that's the thing that people don't get sometimes. Why I would go ballistic when I was calling all the fights on ESPN for 20-something years, where I would go nuts when these sometimes crooked judges, quite frankly, would rob a fighter. I would go nuts. People would say, Teddy, you're going to die of a heart attack. Why are you getting so crazy out there about it? Why? Because these guys risk their freaking life, and when somebody robs them and they lose, they got to go to the back of the line sometimes, and they have to take thousands of punches or face thousands of punches all over again to get back to where they already were. Because every time a fighter leaves the ring, they leave with a little piece of themselves in that ring. In that ring. So that's my answer to you, is that in a great fight like that, we see the greatness of the fight. We applaud it. We benefit from it. We love what they gave us, and they deserve our love. They deserve our adulation for what they gave us, those two warriors. But what we don't see is what they left in the ring. That's what's going to tell the rematch. What was left in the ring? Frazier left a lot of himself in the ring. Ali left a lot of himself in the ring. That is what is really going to determine how the rematch goes. That Fury left a lot. People forget. Fury is a great promoter, great fighter, great athlete, huge guy. He can move, he can go after you, do so many things. And people forget he left a lot in the ring in those Wilder fights. People forget it. He won them all. Well, he had a draw, and he won the next two. But there was a lot of him and Wilder left in that ring. And there was some left in the ring from 2 weeks ago. And that is what's going to have to be seen. We're going to have to see that. I'll still say one thing, though. Both guys have talents that you can measure in a tangible way, both of them. But it's the ones you can't measure for me, that aren't as tangible, but they're as important and more important than any other talents. And both of them have it, but Usyk has made a career with one talent, and I picked him to win only for this reason. Before the fight, he knows how to find a way to win. He's got an ability to find a way to win. And I thought he won the fight because of that. Teddy said, Teddy, it's because he did this, he did that. I get all that. He put punches together, he closed the distance, he put pressure on from the beginning that wore down Fury just enough to get closer. He did all those things, brilliant. But also he found when push came to shove, when the moment of truth came, he found a way to win. Now, Fury, I give him all the credit in the world. Mm-hmm. He found a way to win in the biggest fight of all. You know what fight that was? Life. When he was ready to spit the bid on life, something that we should never do, the greatest gift there is the gift of life, given by our Creator. And he was ready to give up on that, but he came back from that. I mean, that credit to him. Credit to him for doing that. And I think people miss it. They see his talk, how the things he says, and they're outrageous, and everything, and how bigger than life he is, and everything. But he has been and people get mad at me. They say, Teddy, the way he talks, you can't say that. You can't say that he's an example to people. You know what? You're wrong. For me, you're wrong. He is. He's an example never to give up on life. Look what you can do when you don't give up on life. God bless everyone.
One final one, please, Ted, if you don't mind. You know Mike Tyson very, very well. This whole Jake Paul thing, I know you've said it, and you've said it numerous times on different podcasts, different interviews, but I want to get your thoughts on it. He had a little bit of a health scare on the plane, landing in LA. 58 years old now.
I just hope he's okay. Listen, here's my answer. I just hope everyone's been sticking these things in my face, asking this, and I don't blame you. So you're asking the right question. I get it. The question you have to ask, question you think people would like to hear, responsible question. You know, is it okay for him to get in? Should he get in? Only Mike Tyson and his family can answer that. I can't answer that. The people around him that love him, that care for him, and him himself, they're the only ones who can really answer that. If he should get in there, and if it's right for him to get in there. And I'll tell you, I'll finish with one other thing. Nobody knows other than Tyson, maybe some of his family too, but this is a very private thing. Probably nobody knows other than him really why he has to do this, because the worst reason would be money, but he don't have to do it for money. He's had to come back and making money in the last several years where he's made money. God bless him. Where he's made money, you know, he's the youngest heavyweight champ of all time. He's an iconic champion. People still love him. They're still mesmerized by him. They still come around him, and he went through a tough time, we all do, but he went through a tough time and a financial time. But it seems like he's come back and he's done really well. Good. So it doesn't seem that he's doing it for money. It seems like he's doing it for other reasons. That reason, and thank God it ain't for money, that's the worst of them all. And that saddens me. But when a fighter who's put everything, when he's risked everything inside that squared circle and gotten out of there and accomplished everything he wants to accomplish, and then has to go back because you don't know, that's sad. That is almost criminal sometimes when you see that. But that's not the case here, I don't believe. There's a reason why he's doing this. That is the question that only he can answer, is what is the importance to him to do this at 58 years of age when he's accomplished all the things that he's accomplished in this great sport. Why does he have to? It's something that we can't contemplate. It's something that you, me, we can't understand, that there might be just something kind of like knocking at his door personally that says, no, I got to do this. For whatever, to be comfortable, to be happy, to people say, oh, Teddy, that's stupid to say because, the most important thing in life is to have your health and that he's healthy and he doesn't risk it. I get all that. But how about the most important thing also in life is to feel fulfilled by life, to feel that you're living the life you want to live. How about that? How about you could be healthy as you want and just existing out there and you're not happy. There's something in your craw. There's something knocking at your door that still says, no, I have to do this. And who knows what that something is. But Tyson has the right to explore that something and to figure it out.
Teddy, thank you so much, mate. Pleasure. Thank you.
Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.